awkward silence of waiting for people to get on, if they get on. Maybe not. It's terribly embarrassing. What is going on? How you doing? Got a few folks on here. So I'm just driving and figured I would pop on here, see if I could answer any questions. If you guys are out there getting it done today. Joey, how are you? What are you prepping for, big guy? Nothing. I don't have anything going on. It's um, heading up to what brand of boots do you wear? I don't wear boots. I've got Cole Haans on right now, but all my guys wear Hucks. Those seem to be the best. Personally, I think the Hucks are a little bit too low, but they all seem to enjoy them. We'll see how it goes in the winter when things get cooler. But that is the brand of choice. And I just order them for everybody on Amazon. I couldn't tell you, Clint. If I'm not mistaken, the extra tufts look just like the Hucks. And with that being said, you're probably just paying for the name if you're buying the Hucks. Yes, QuoteIQ beta test. That's a great question. This thing has been such a labor of love, if you will. Justin Rogers from Forever Self-Employed and myself have been working on QuoteIQ for, since probably December of last year. This is going to be, in my opinion, and what the feedback that we've gotten thus far, it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people as far as how they're quoting, how they're, what kind of CRM they're using, the interaction with the customer, all of these things. I don't go to the convention. I was not there, but I bet it was great. Probably a lot of great value, some good speakers for sure, lots of equipment to look at, folks like that. But yeah, I've never been to one of those conventions before. So, but QuoteIQ, that should be out. I'm hoping beta testing by the end of next month. QuoteIQ is the best CRM to use. You just got to wait a second. Hey, Mike, how do you stop assholes that, oops, hold on. Call your phone and they bull crapper. Surprisingly enough, there is a tremendous amount of people that will just call because they see me on YouTube or send messages and think, obviously, we do have other, really can't control if people call me or not. I mean, I have a business and people can find it online and they can call the business line. And I get messages all the time. Hey, what chemicals do I need to use? How much should I charge? Things of that nature. But that's it. Hey, trying to land just one job is so hard here in Trinidad. I know, started advertising, pressure washing business like a month ago. It takes time, right? Just because you go into business doesn't mean anybody knows that you're in business. I've said it before. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes being relentless. It takes effort every single day on your part to get your name out there. Whether it's knocking on doors and asking, bro, I thought you were 19. Yeah, I was 19, like, I don't know, a lot of years ago. I'm not good at math. Why did you think I was 19? And is it the gray hair or the ring? I am sorry. This is a horrible connection for whatever reason. But that's the bottom line on pricing, I guess. Pricing is out there, so you can take it for what it's worth. All right. Any other questions? Bunch of people dropped off. Had to drop off because this silly phone keeps disconnecting. All right, so hit me with some questions. That's why I jumped on here. How many of you guys know the channel from shorts? And how many of you guys know it from the regular long format video? That's a question that I'm very curious about. No comments? Nothing? I will say that these cars that kind of do the self-driving thing, as long as your hands on the steering wheel, is like the best thing ever. Regulating the speed, keeps you in the lane. I love it because I'm a pretty horrible driver. All right, folks. There's a bunch of people on here yet. Nobody's popping up questions. Somebody type something so I know that it's working. Otherwise, I'm just going to hop off. Here we are. Okay. I mean, Yankee gutters. I don't know what Yankee gutters are. How's your son doing? I've got two. They're both awesome. One is in college. The other just started his sophomore year. I've got a daughter that just started college as well. I've got a junior in college, a freshman in college, a sophomore in high school, and a sixth grader. And somebody keeps calling me daddy. That's kind of disturbing. Let's see. I don't know what Yankee gutters are, so somebody help me there. I missed about the price. So SH on a surface, that's a good question. You've actually got two good questions in a row there. So SH on a surface, it's pretty simple. I mean, we can get really in depth as far as percentages and things of that nature. But essentially, the best way to determine if your SH is doing its job is you spray it on, and if stuff comes off immediately, the mildew, the mold, whatever the case is, then it's too strong. If you spray it on and it takes 5 or 6 minutes, it's 2 weeks. So you got to find that steady balance and go from there. But you don't want to leave it on too long, especially windows, especially when it's hot outside, because it'll bake on there, and it's not something that you really want to do. How do you avoid price shoppers? So that's a great question. I avoid price shoppers. I don't necessarily avoid price shoppers, but what I've done is I've created systems within my business where I'm not interacting. I'm not going out to the job site for residential jobs. What we do is we have, we do remote quoting. And with remote quoting, it doesn't matter if they're price shopping because I can take a look. I can give a quote in a matter of seconds. And probably in about a month, you're going to be able to do this with QuoteIQ, which is our new app that Justin from Forever Self-Employed and myself are coming out with. We're really excited about that. So keep your eyes and ears open on all of that. But yeah, so price shopping. It doesn't really matter if they're price shopping or not because I get them a quote super fast and they can either take it or they can leave it, but I'm not going to waste a tremendous amount of time with them. Okay. Morning. What's the best way to get clients starting out? Leveraging friends and family. Use your existing, the people that you know, and ask them for work. Ask them if they know people that could help you get started. That's probably one of the best things, in my opinion. And flyers if you're just starting out, things like that. It doesn't really take a ton of money. Utilize Facebook. Get on a GMB or a Google Maps deal. You got to have all that in place. I think I'm okay. Looking to start a business in Clarksville, Tennessee. Good luck, Brian. Chris Stanfield, how are you? Lots of kids, that is for sure. Let's see. Daddy isn't disturbing. No, I don't. That's not disturbing. I don't know who W is. Hugs from Brazil. Sorry, but I've never bought a course. That is fine. You don't need to. I think I provide a bunch of good information without having to buy anything. How to pre-qualify customers over the phone? You do it by price, right? Set your price, stick to your price. If they don't want to pay it, they've qualified themselves. This man loves to beef with people. That is not entirely true, Dan. But what I do like is when I see silly comments, that I can A, poke a little fun at the person, and B, teach something. If you've watched any of my videos where yes, I've beefed with people, I don't beef with anybody because it's a one-sided thing. Someone makes a comment, I guess it's two-sided, and then I come back. But what I do is I try to teach something in the process, because typically when I do make a video like that, it's to explain something, and I do it in what I think is a funny way. Some people may not think it's as funny. Okay. What are the best trucks to buy that will serve as a company vehicle? Everybody has their own preference. We've got Dodge and we've got Ford. Hell, we've had every brand there is. Something a little bit bigger like a 250 is probably ideal. I don't personally buy 250s. We usually stay in the 1500, the F-150s, that range, simply because they're not as expensive. And when you are not actually out there doing the work yourself, you're relying on employees, and employees don't always take care of stuff. So I don't want to put somebody in a $60,000 truck. I'd rather put them in a $25,000, something like that. So it's really just a cost thing. Let's see. Roof cleaning is one of the best upcharges or upsells, in my opinion. I love roof cleaning, high profits. Also, exterior window cleaning. If you've got a water-fed pool, you can add that on really simply, and it's a nice little upcharge. I don't know how much it would cost to open up a business in Canada. I'm 3 months in and at 90K so far. Your videos helped me a lot. That's awesome, man. Good luck. You're crushing it. Love to know where you're at and what you're doing for your marketing. The lack of leads, yeah, it is back to school. Prior to that, I think people were just kind of, finishing up their summers, getting those last vacations in, spending the time with the kids and the family before they go back to school. Typically, we do see a little bit of a slowdown. I have seen it start to pick back up here recently, so that's something positive. What's up, Reggie? How are you, buddy? Put your price per square foot on your signs. I do a kind of yes, put your price on there if you want. But I probably wouldn't put. Watch my video on bandit signs. I think that is a better explanation than I can give right now. I'm just starting off and got a couple jobs, but should I see competition's price to price my jobs? I was able to charge $100 for a small brick front porch stairs. Again, pricing questions are something that are very difficult to answer because we all have different businesses, and our business models are different. Our overhead is different, our costs, things of that nature. So what works for me might not work for you. So I would guarantee, hey, Dewey, I would encourage you to have a firm understanding of your costs, what you need to make to be profitable, and then also what your market is, where the market's at, what your competitors are charging, because all of these things come into place. Um, Something that I just read this morning in a business article was 40% of small businesses are not profitable. And I think primarily that's because they don't know their numbers. So knowing your numbers is absolutely essential. Schools don't go back until after Labor Day here. And man, my kids have been back for like a month. Based in the Houston area, what would you say? Don't ask me what you should charge per square foot. Nobody asked me that. I don't know. Karcher, I don't know what a Karcher. I think those are like homeowner brand things. I'm not sure. Ah, Zeft, pettiness. Come on, man. But thanks. All right. Who else? Yeah, now you know what I look like. Sorry. But everything I said, any runoff is strictly prohibited. Chase, do a little more research. And I think, a lot of it has to do with where you live. Um, Runoff, you can watch a million videos on guys that are saying, oh, it's illegal, to wash a driveway. And, there's some EPA rules and laws, but there's also hundreds of thousands of, cleaning businesses that aren't being put in jail for washing a driveway. Let's see. A minimum price, Chris, that is a great thing. And 250 seems like a really good base price. That's awesome. Purely pressure. And you said you got it probably from just picking up the kids at school. Like, that's one of the greatest sales or marketing things that you can do. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open and don't be afraid to go in, knock on a door, ask for someone's business card, ask who's the decision maker, introduce yourself, throw them a business card, and then follow up, right? Like, I've landed so many jobs, huge jobs, apartment complexes, condominiums, things like that. These are, 20, 30, $40,000 jobs, um, simply by, uh, walking in and leaving fear behind and just saying, hey, we can clean some stuff. The startup cost can be anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000. It's just on what you're willing to spend, how big you're willing to go. I've made a bunch of videos on all that stuff too, so definitely something to check out. Well, thank you. Pressure washing businesses, typically, I would think in any municipality or locality, you probably definitely need a business license. As far as other licensing, I think it just varies from state to state. I know California, um, $250 is our minimum price, so that would be the cheapest thing for anything. I think California has some other laws and rules and things. Fear will leave you hungry. That's a great quote. Best response to $99 guy, man. Roof replacement is 20K. Sure, you can go ahead and use a $99 guy, but the best part about us, we're fully insured. God forbid anything happen, and that is absolutely beautiful. Have you ever destroyed anything pressure washing? What do you do in the situation? Unfortunately, that is something that has happened over the past 20 or so years that we've been in business. And the right thing to do, the one thing that you can do, and really, in my opinion, the only thing that you can do is own it, pay for it, and move on. How do I quote remotely? Um, there's a tons of different ways you can quote remotely. There are, obviously you can get on Google, you can look at pictures. There's all kinds of different ways. If you wait about a month, you can get QuoteIQ, which is the new app that I've got coming out with Justin. I set 185 as my minimum price and winning about 70% of the jobs I quote. If you're winning 70% of the jobs, you're pricing too low. Raise your prices. Okay. If your close ratio is super high, that means you're too cheap. So find that delicate balance, right? If you're closing a ton, raise your prices. If you're not closing anything, lower your prices. I took a job from a competitor yesterday from my local $200 guy. I asked why she decided it was the insurance for me. Yeah, insurance, presentation of self, presentation of your company, the marketing, the branding, all of these things, come into play. Pricing is really the last thing that my ideal customer is concerned about, right? I focus on people that have, you know, got the means to pay what I need to get paid in order to live the lifestyle that I want to live and to make the profits that we want to make within our business. So, you know, everybody gets hung up on pricing and what everybody else is doing. Focus on you. Yes, of course, you have to have insurance. Mike, you don't work on the floor anymore. So where are you driving to? I'm driving to Atlanta for a meeting. Obviously I own a pressure washing business. I have never actually been the guy on the ground doing the work. I've always had employees. Um, Obviously, doing this for 21 years, I've got lots of experience because you've got to fill in, you got to train people, you have to know exactly what goes on. So I have watched many a thing in that time frame, but I've also got my hands in all kinds of other things. Obviously, um, you know you know that I've got the pressure washing business. I just sold my landscape business after about 12 years at the beginning of this year, which was a great thing. Um, I We have a ton of training courses that we do, in-person training. We do WashCon every year, all kinds of things. I've also, I'm also tongue-tied, but I'm also involved in other businesses. So uh, that is where I'm heading. And my personal life and outside of just pressure washing is just kind of mine, and I try to keep everything separate. And we're also developing a new app, so I'll add that to the list of things that I do. Google Earth, yes. Yes, insurance and surfactants products from Southeast Softwash have a shelf life or only good for the year. Well, honestly, if you are buying surfactants, hopefully, a 1 gallon jug is not going to last a year. Hopefully, you're more, you're busier than that. Your marketing is in place. You've got those leads coming in. I'm sure there's a shelf life, but just like bleach, there's a shelf life. But I don't know what that is. That would be a question for Cody and his team. Southeast Softwash. What's the best way to start a business? You got to just do it. Stop asking questions, do your research, learn the best ways to do things, and get out there and do it. How much is your pressure washing course? How to wash is the main one. And that is on our website, pwcourse.com. It's $3.99. But if you want to save a little bit of money, you could use promo code 50 free, and it'll take $50 off. Don't you feel you need to diversify after a certain point of time? I think you need to diversify from day one. I think uh, the idea of having one source of income is antiquated. I think that people that say, oh, you shouldn't, that guy does this, he does this, he does this. Well, yeah, of course, because that guy's not an idiot. That guy understands that some things may slow down, right? One business may slow down, another may not. So why would you not diversify your income streams to just to create stability and create hopefully what becomes generational wealth, right? Owning a pressure washing business, you can become wealthy, but diversifying, taking what you make and investing in other things, investing in other businesses um, is very important. But you can also diversify if you're just starting out the offering, right? What you're offering. Offer roof cleaning, offer exterior window cleaning, offer deck staining, offer. Now, I'm not suggesting you become a jack of all trades because then you're a master of none. But I would definitely encourage people to offer, a cornucopia, if you will, of services. So your customers can choose, and you're spending more time at one job by offering multiple services, which is better for your business. Let's see. Sally plays games. Hi. Can I use QuoteIQ remote quoting tool for other businesses, or is it primarily for pressure washing? Actually, QuoteIQ is going to have modules for, at this point, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, landscape maintenance businesses. I'm trying to think what else. We've got, we're constantly adding. So um, if you're in a business and you think that, QuoteIQ might be something that would benefit you, please reach out, let me know. And I would love to talk with you. I'm currently running a 4 gallon per minute and I really want to upgrade, but I see so many people put themselves in a hole. Yeah, take a little bit of your profits every single time, put it away in a little upgrade fund, and over time it will accumulate, and then you can go out and you're really not missing anything. Pay cash. I don't have credit cards. I don't have car loans, and I think it's unbelievably important to be not in debt. Some debt people say is good. We have a mortgage, but other than that, that's about all. Let's see. Diversify. I know you don't like being asked about pricing, but gutter cleaning have always been a challenge to quote for me. Um, Justin Rogers and myself, I think we just did a video on gutter cleaning. It's probably on his channel. He was down in Savannah and we went out and did. I'm pretty sure he put that out not too long ago. You first started your business. What did you do in the off season? Okay, we don't have an off season. We're very fortunate down here. I'm, like an hour and a half or about an hour above Florida, so we've got a really nice climate. Stuff grows, mildew grows nonstop, so we don't really have an off season. But I would kind of tune into some of those guys that are up north. I know a lot of guys do snow plowing, snow removal. Christmas tree lighting is something that a lot of folks do, both down south and up north. Um, but that's it. The housing market is king. Housing is good. Rental properties, something to think about. I'm glad you made that point about being a jack of all trades and being a master of none. Exactly. Should you drive when reading chat? Absolutely. I'm a big firm believer that everybody that's driving should be reading some sort of chat. Um, True that. LOL. After college, the first thing I did was pay off the whole damn thing. Screw debt. Absolutely. Northeast, you can also target fleet cleaning. Great idea, Kevin. With Responsibid, is the quote automatic or do you review the info first? I input all of the info. Responsibid is a great tool. And it's been so long. I was one of the first people to jump on Responsibid many, many years ago. And I don't remember if they've got pricing in there already, but all of my pricing is put in by me based on my overhead, my expenses, all of the things that we talk about every day, the market, things like that. What size surface cleaner do you use? I think everybody's got 20-inch on theirs. We've also got some big guys, but I think they're 20-inch. We have Whirl Away and BE, or Whisper Wash, not Whirl Away, Whisper Wash and BE. Does rain affect how good a job you do? If it's raining sideways, we don't work in the rain, but it really doesn't have that much of an impact. Who makes the best gutter guard? I've seen several that don't work. I have no idea. I hate gutter guards. If you've got gutter guards, we're not going to take them off. We're going to just knock off whatever's on top of them. But it's my understanding that that's a pretty decent business to get into, the installation of that. Thank you, sir. Your videos are a motivation for budding entrepreneurs like me. Looking forward to see you more. Thanks. Awesome, George. Appreciate that. I don't own a pressure washing business, but I apply the lessons for my business. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, no, the channel is called All About Pressure Washing, but and we do talk about some pressure washing things. We talk about some of the hows and whys of the business, but ultimately, I think the value that I hope I offer is the business side of things, right? And I don't want to we can learn how to do anything. We can learn how to wash things, but understanding how to successfully run a business and navigate that is a lot more difficult than spraying bleach. Mike, I want to upgrade. I have a 3.5. Should I get a 4 or just go bigger? Go bigger. Save up and go bigger. Your 3.5 is going to be good for now, but don't just upgrade to a 4, right? Like that's minimal. Save up, grab an 8. How long were you solo before you started hiring employees and building an empire? I've never been solo. From day one, I had employees. All about running a business, correct? Yeah, I might have been a little presumptuous when I named the channel a couple years ago when I started this, but it is what it is. But Josh, and I think probably what you're asking about is, how if you're thinking about scaling, adding employees, things like that. I've made a ton of videos. In fact, I'll probably have one dropping on Wednesday about the things that, in my opinion, prevent people from scaling and getting off the truck. And it should be a pretty good video. How do you pay employees when you first start? Pay them, you just pay them. Like initially, my guys were 1099s. Now they're all W-2, so they're actual employees. So I'm paying Social Security and all the things that you have to pay. But we pay weekly. My accountant handles all of that. Do you own any businesses outside of pressure washing? Yes, I do. But I don't talk about all of those. I had a landscape business that was very much related to the same industry, business model, service business. I sold that at the beginning of the year just because the profits weren't where I wanted them to be, where I needed them to be. The headache of employees, finding good people. And that's one of the biggest differences between the pressure washing world and the landscaping or lawn care world is folks, what you can pay people, right? There is a limit. There is a cap. It's just like somebody that works fast food isn't going to make $25-$30 an hour, right? That job, and I hate to say it, is not a $30 an hour job. Lawn care, and we were lawn care. We didn't do landscaping. We didn't do irrigation, installations, things like that on a grand scale. We would do small jobs, but it was primarily maintenance. And there was a limit on what I could pay. Otherwise, I wouldn't make any money, and I ended up just walking away from the entire business. I sold it, of course, but it just the headache was not something that I wanted to continue to deal with. So that's that. All right. Any other questions? Here we go. 25-30 an hour. Your jobs typically are things you have a skill gap. Would you agree? Yeah, and that's where my guys start. Are they started around that range, and they are skilled technicians. And I know on my shorts the comments. Oh my God, people are like, "Oh, you're just spraying water. You're just this that." And yeah, we are spraying water. We're spraying chemicals. We're using equipment. We're driving trucks. We're doing all kinds of things. We're taking care of people's homes, right? You're not just spraying water. And there is quite a bit of knowledge, technique, the right methods to do this. And yeah, Johnny homeowner can hop out on a weekend and he can spend all weekend washing his house, all weekend washing his driveway, when we can do it in an hour or two. And so that's when I ask people, are you valuing your time or your money more? And our ideal customers value their time more than their money. And that's the type of customer that you want. What was that question? How much do you pay your employees? Like I said, we start off around $25 an hour. What would you recommend for someone in a dry state like Colorado, and how would you go about to maximize profits? Like a dry state like no alcohol? Well, if that's the case, I'd move the hell out of there. But I think you're talking about not a lot of moisture. Honestly, man, I don't know. There's tons of sidewalks. There are tons of restaurants. There are a ton of things that need to be cleaned. There are fleets of vehicles that need to be cleaned. People still need gutters cleaned. They still need their roofs cleaned. The folks down in Arizona, They've probably got the same type of questions, but I know from experience there are a ton of folks in all of those states that make an absolute killing in this business. Solar panel cleaning is also something that is that's pretty awesome. Tim O'Laughlin, he has a great channel called Timo Paints. He was on here earlier. We did a solar panel cleaning course, and there's a solar panel pricing guide, all kinds of things like that. But it's a great add-on service, and that's something that maybe folks out on the West Coast could probably benefit from adding on. I pressure washed my house one day. Took me a long time, even with bleach. Second time, I will definitely pay for it. I hear you. Dude? What's up, dude? Huge props to the work you're doing. I appreciate that. Rough estimate: how much does your business make in sales every year? No, I don't divulge that. A lot. Also, just asking, where do you do your work? We're based in Georgia, South Georgia, Savannah. How do you clean a wood deck? Um, there's all kinds of different ways to clean a wood deck. You can do it using various chemicals. You can use it with very light pressure. Uh, but that's a question that is a little harder to answer. Best oil stain remover for concrete. I've heard that. Regardless, it'll never be completely lifted. Chris, great question. Any kind of heavy duty industrial degreaser is going to be very helpful for removing, lifting, lightening oil stains. And I think that's the key, is managing customer expectations. The one that we have used most recently is Dynamite Degreaser. It's pretty good. Coke snorting. I'm not a fan of Coke snorting, I don't think. Uh, Best oil stain. Where do you work? Okay. But Chris, managing customer expectations. If somebody calls and says, "Hey, I've got a horrible oil stain on my driveway," um, what am I gonna tell that customer? Well, the first thing is I'm gonna let them know it's not going to be perfect, right? Concrete is so porous, and when oil dives in there, it's staining everything, right? And we can do everything we can do in order to reduce the stain, lighten the stain, make it as pleasing as possible. But just set customer expectations and let them, understand that it's not going to be like brand new concrete. Right on, brother. You're the man. Thank you. What time of surfactant would you recommend for someone starting out? You know, that's a great question. And when we first started doing roofs, and this is a long, long time ago, I was cheap and I would just go and use like Dawn uh, dish detergent, and that's good in a pinch. But if you think about it, um, a dish detergent is not formulated to work with bleach, which is what we use to clean, houses and roofs and things like that. So if you're going to be cheap, use like a laundry detergent, because that's actually formulated to work with bleach. But if you really want to use something that's professional grade, there's a ton of different options. And you've heard me say it before. I'm going to say it again. Cody over at Southeast Softwash, he's a buddy. We're business partners in a couple things, and they make a great surfactant. They've got a whole line of soaps that they just came out with, and definitely check those guys out. Good stuff for sure. Uh, is algae accumulating on houses more than it did 50 years ago? I don't think so, but I don't know. I'm not a algaeologist. Let's see. Don't let the surfactant mix with the iron in the soil. You'll have to replace that. Yeah, and that was a funny video. That I think that's one of like my top viewed videos of all time. I don't even know how many millions, like 50 million views or something silly like that. But that one was funny. People got so triggered by that, and it was completely up. Very funny though. Okay, how much do you have to pay to clean a normal size suburban house? That's one of those questions. What is a normal sized house? And everywhere in the country has got different prices. Every business has got different prices, so it's really tough to give a price. If you don't have a pressure washer, what other tool would you use? You can use soft wash pumps that are like 12-volt. There's gas powered soft wash pumps. There's all kinds of choices for applying detergents. You could use a backpack sprayer. and a water hose if you really wanted to. I hear that all the time, Zay. I look like Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian. I love Pedro. I wish I had a Mandalorian costume, to be honest, because I would wear it all the time, just because it's cool. That's funny. Let's see. Hey, Mike, do you have in-person training? I've got how to wash. Sonny, we do. Um, I don't know where I've got a link, but yeah. So we do in-person training in Savannah. You can come down, work with my guys for a day, two, however many you want to. Justin Rogers has got a training over in Louisiana as well. So it just really depends on what's most convenient for you. Um, I'm trying to think. If you just go to any of my videos, there's a link probably for the in-person training, so you can check that out. Yes, I've got multiple businesses. What's the benefit of purchasing your How to Wash course? That is a good question, Chris. If you're just starting out, um, How to Wash is a great course. It's Aaron Parker from the Lean and Mean Academy, Cody from Southeast Soft Wash, Justin from Forever Self Employed, and of course myself. We've got a tremendous amount of knowledge between the four of us. But in that course, we cover essentially the equipment needed, how to operate the equipment, um, uh, giving you guys soft washing and pressure washing, walkthroughs on all of the equipment, uh, and then the detergents that we use, the chemicals, how to mix those chemicals, what chemicals and what mixes to use on what surfaces, and then how to wash every surface that you're going to encounter on a residential property. So, what's the benefit? The benefit is you could go and you could learn all of this on your own, trial and error. You could go out and you could watch a ton of videos, but then you have to figure out who knows what they're talking about, who do I trust, and then again, it's kind of like a trial and error thing. So it's basically you're just cutting the learning curve. You're you're shortcutting all the years of mistakes that we made, and you're able to kind of hit the ground running. Keep up with the competition from the very beginning. It's speed and efficiency, doing things the right way, not wasting your time, not wasting your energy, not wasting your money on things that you don't need, right? So that's the benefit of any training, not just ours, but any training, right? Um, so I highly encourage people to educate themselves because it's only going to benefit you. And at the end of the day, all of our courses are ridiculously inexpensive, like super cheap. How to Wash, you can usually catch it on some kind of promo or sale, but it retails at like $3.99. You usually get $50 off. Promo code 50 free, and you're going to pay less than what it would cost to wash one house, right? One house pays for the course, and it's like a no-brainer. So why would you not educate yourself, inform yourself on the best ways to do things? That's just my 2 cents. Let's see. What would you say would be the best way to make money in the winter up north? Man, Chris, go back and read some of the other comments. Rewatch this. I talked about it. Snow removal, snow plowing. I don't know. Christmas tree lighting, fleet washing. Someone had mentioned those are all great things that are year round type of things, or at least in the winter. What's the most expensive pay you have gotten from pressure washing? Man, this guy Render Tag loves money, and I get it. We did. There's been jobs that have been, over $100,000. One in particular, and I can't remember the exact dollars. A while ago, it was like $140,000. It was at an army base here in Georgia. I'm currently in the process of creating a build in the bed of my truck. Very nervous for this journey, but I'm just going to go for it. Go for it, man. Good luck. Educate yourself. Watch all these videos. There's a lot of great information out there. Do you get tips? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah, my technicians get tips. And they know that if they do a great job and they, customer service is on point, that, the customers that we work for are typically going to tip them. And then on all of the invoices that we send out, I say, hey, if you wanted to leave a tip for your technician, there's a spot there. And so, it's just something that they do because they're going to make a little extra money than I do in case somebody didn't have cash and want to do it when they pay their invoice online. What's up? Bangladesh, like a boss. I live in Australia, and the chemicals listed in your courses available in Australia. So the chemicals listed, I don't know. I mean, if you can get bleach, that's the main chemical that we use. Um, I know that there's a bunch of guys in the inner circle from Australia, and they're out there washing every single day. Actually, I mean, just killing it. So I know that all that stuff is available in Australia. Let's go, Brandon. George is building one too. That's awesome. Wait, are you using your phone and driving? No, my driver is driving, and I'm just hanging out. All right, so I've been on probably too long. I'm going to get off in about 3 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, any comments, please let me know. How'd you advertise when you first started? I tell everybody that's first starting out, because this is a very common question, is, leverage your friends and family first. Everybody that you know, ask them to do some work for them. Ask them for reviews, right? Set up your Google profile, your business profile, and work on that. Post pictures, do all the things that you need to do. We've made a bunch of videos on that. Um, and flyers are inexpensive. uh, get out there, knock on doors, right? Get some business cards. You can get those printed cheap, and give one to everybody that you interact with. Walk into businesses, don't be afraid. Fear is one of the biggest limiting factors, I think, for a lot of people when they're starting out. So just get out there and put your name out there, even if it's just you out there yelling on the street, hey, I'm in business and I want to clean some stuff. Okay. I've been soft washing everything because I only have a 4 gallon per minute machine, but switching things up this week. Would you mix surfactant with SH to batch mix? Um, I don't know, man. We downstream 90%, and that's also soft washing. And it looks like I am about to get pulled over. Yep, I'm about to get pulled over. That stings. All right, I'm out. Should we record it? Probably not.